So I think tonight is going to be a great night for Chelsea fans.
So I'm going to put you on the spot, Celestine. I do have to apologise, but what do you think of tonight? How are you approaching tonight's game? What do you think will happen?
I have a lot of confidence going in tonight, especially seeing the first game at Madrid. I think Chelsea did really well. And with the new manager in hand now, Thomas Tuchel, since he came on board, I think Chelsea has been really strong defensively. We haven't conceded loads of goals. And the way he puts his team out there, I think we've got a brilliant chance in beating Madrid today.
It's going to be a good one. I know that someone that's going to be key to tonight's performance, regardless of how it goes. We're often staggered by the levels that N'Golo Kanté reach on a regular basis. Last week could go down as one of his very best performances in blue so far, and that is saying something. Pat Nevin has been on hand just to show us just how good he was.
It's weird to say it, but N'Golo Kanté is arguably playing some of the best football of his entire career. Certainly this is one of his best games. He was everywhere. Every tackle seemed to be won, and when he got the ball, almost always finding his own players and finding them in great areas, getting forward, driving into areas, asking questions of what was a phenomenal midfield he was playing against. It doesn't seem to matter how many players are around him. I mean, it looks as good a dribble as Eden Hazard when he's on the ball at the moment as well. Look at that, 4 players around him, takes them all out. They do anything to stop him, and look at the break we have there. Once again, oh dear, he's a right winger now. It's actually laughable how incredible he was in this game. You see tackles won, but has he any time anything other than calm? No. Play the right ball, leads to a chance. Look at this, energy levels, going into areas and thinking, look, I will see my mate even though I've not looked. That's a brilliant ball into Pulisic there. It must have been horrendous to play against him because he always found himself in that area running into space. Actually, that was a good ball there. It was played to feet. We didn't just pick it up. Once again, I think I'll be a rampaging right winger again. I'm not a sitting midfielder at all. He was beyond brilliant in this game of football, and he could well be tonight again.
He is a phenomenon. N'Golo Kanté, I mean, you cannot say enough about him, Abby, can you? He's just sensational.
Honestly, I don't have enough superlatives. He's just a remarkable player. And even when, games are running into additional time, he's still got the same amount of energy, if not more than when he started. How does he do that? I need to know the secret. He's honestly, he's just world class. And I feel like sometimes he doesn't get the praise he deserves because he's always been brilliant and continues to do so. But yeah, just a phenomenal player. We're very lucky to have him.
Very lucky. And Jason, it's not just the fact that because with N'Golo Kanté, everyone rightly so is quickly to applaud his energy and the way that he wins possession back. I read these stats from his Champions League this season. 43 balls recovered. He's only given away 10 fouls. You consider how many tackles he must make or how many attempts to win the ball back he must have. It's just incredible the levels that he does reach on a regular basis.
He's a freak. I've never seen anything like it. He has an ability which I've never seen before to win balls where he's not even second favourite and there's 2 men going for the ball. Honestly, it's remarkable. He manages to have get a toe in the ball, get the right side and win a ball, but win it fairly. It's a remarkable talent. There are so many remarkable things about him. His energy levels, he has lungs of steel. His stamina is phenomenal. His ball retention is something that I think perhaps if you look at all the skill sets that he's got, his passing at times can be a little wayward. That's not a criticism because that's not his part of the game. You look at Jorginho. Jorginho cannot do half the things that Kanté does, but he's not a defensive midfielder. He's a box-to-box midfielder that can do anything. I've never seen anyone win the ball so high up the pitch. I've never seen anyone defend on the edge of his box and win balls he shouldn't do. Makelele had a role named after him. We have to find a role for Kanté because he is that good. He's the most remarkable footballer I think I've ever seen.
I completely agree. Celestine, we asked this to everyone that's played, that's been on the show so far this season. It's always a resounding how much they would love to play with N'Golo Kanté, but it does feel like it, doesn't it? How much would you have enjoyed now? How much do you think your game would have benefited from playing with someone like N'Golo Kanté?
He wanted him in front of him. That's what he wanted.
No, honestly, just like my mate just said there, N'Golo Kante is a pleasure to watch, and I would have loved to play there with this boy. His stamina is second to none. He reminds me of Makelele, but I think he's an improvement on Makelele. I mean, I'm sure if Makelele heard me say this, he will.
He said the same, Celestine. He said the same.
No, honestly, N'Golo Kante is just, something else. Whenever I watch this guy, he impresses me every time. I'm not even sure where he gets his energy from. I mean, I used to be a professional player, but I'm not even sure if I can cover the ground like this boy does. His ability is just extraordinary, and hopefully he will bring his energy into the game today.
Very much hope so. Let's go on to our hot topic 2 for tonight then, which is 1 down and 1 to go. We know where this is going, Pat. We've had to mute you a little bit because it's getting quite noisy inside Stamford Bridge. And I think the weather as well, people are starting to huddle at the top end of the stands because it's getting very damp around Stamford Bridge, isn't it? But it is 1 down, 1 to go. Chelsea women are in the final of the Champions League, 4-1 win against Bayern Munich on Sunday. The levels that we're talking about N'Golo Kante can be replicated for the level of performance that you see on a weekly basis from Emma Hayes' side this season. How impressed have you been with them, and how much does that sort of set the standard for tonight?
My excitement, and this might talk a lot of people about the women's team getting to the final, is the same as the men's team getting to the final. That's how I feel about it. Now, I've been a fanatic of women's football for a long time, and I'm so delighted in the most general sense that it is growing to the levels that it's growing just now. Chelsea wouldn't help that, because Chelsea have taken it to new levels. And so I'm so excited for Emma. I said some time ago, we've changed managers a bit over the years, haven't we? Quite quickly as well sometimes. And I have said before, you've got to consider Emma at some point. She's that good. So, and I'm not saying that to be right on or woke or whatever. It's because I believe it. So I'm excited for Emma. I'm excited for her team. They are building a new standard. Lyon were the team of the past, and they were an amazing team in women's football. Chelsea could be the team of the future, and I'd be shocked if they weren't.
Abby, I mean, Emma Hayes has coined the term about mentality monsters this season, and we've beaten Wolfsburg, we've beaten Bayern Munich now, we've got Barcelona in the final. But I mean, even tonight, I think it's finished now. Is it finished in the WSL? I think we've beaten Spurs as well tonight, so I think it finished 2-0 tonight. So you look at the players that didn't get in the starting lineup tonight that have been rested because they had such a busy game on Sunday. We talk about the strength and depth that Thomas Tuchel has. Emma Hayes got exactly the same. Fran Kirby again, Pernille Harder, all goal scorers at the weekend. Kirby and Harder don't start tonight, nor does G. Sam Kerr pops up again. There's so many avenues in which Chelsea can win games, and that kind of X factor. Like Pat said, that there aren't many teams in world football, in men's or women's game, that have that strength in depth.
Yeah, so Kerr got subbed off tonight, and then Harder comes on. I mean, what a flex that is! Just two absolutely world-class sign-ins and players that people all around the globe are looking at just for their skill set. So yeah, it's an amazing team. I think Emma Hayes has been working really hard over the last few years to really build a team that are mentality monsters and can go and win trophies, and a lot of them. The fact that the WSL title is very much within their reach now after that Spurs win, and then a Champions League final, absolutely huge.
What a weekend as well, Jay. FA Cup final for Thomas Tuchel's side on the Saturday. On Sunday, obviously Gothenburg for the Women's Champions League final. And then potentially, obviously, see how things go, but could have a WSL title in the trophy cabinet, and potentially a Champions League final for the men's side as well. How much does that give motivation to the whole club? Because it's a feel, isn't it? It's the fact the whole club's doing well. Oh,
you just have to go on social media to realise the impact that this has had. When that game took place, and it looked like it was going to go to extra time, and those two late goals, the last goal was the clincher. That last one was the one that we knew we're there, because, as we might find out tonight, one goal might not be enough. So, look, it's about the whole football club. It's Chelsea FC, whether it be the women, whether it be the men, whether it be the youth team. Like I said to you the other day, we've been involved in European campaigns when we've seen the under-18s go through to Champions League finals, to go on and win things. There's always something. At the end of a season for Chelsea, it doesn't matter what level you're looking at, we always seem to have, going into May, there's always something to fight for. And this season looks like it could be one of the biggest, if not the biggest of all.
Completely agree, mate. Well, let's go on to our one to watch tonight then. Someone that could have a very, very big hand in tonight's game is Kai Havertz. Celestine obviously scored 2 at the weekend, but how impressed overall have you been with Kai Havertz in his first season at Chelsea?
Kai Havertz, since his arrival at Chelsea, I mean, don't forget this guy came into Chelsea with COVID. He had COVID and he scored 2 goals against Fulham the other day, and I think he's doing really well. And I think the more he finds his feet, the more he will show people what he can do. Having Thomas Tuchel as well as a manager who's German, I think he will really improve moving forward. And him and his compatriot, Timo Werner, they've not settled the way we all thought they were going to settle. But I think moving forward, I think they will come good.
I think that's a terrific point, Pat, and Celestine's raised something that I think all Chelsea fans have kind of acknowledged is the fact, no new players had it easy this year when they've come into the country. They've had to deal with the pandemic. And Kai Havertz is 21. I know you've been a big advocate of him for a couple of years and you've seen him a lot in the Bundesliga, but we're starting to see the best of him, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, it's a phrase that used quite a lot. There's a lot of players that come in, and English football's hard to adapt to. It is a different tempo. You've got to know not only what you're playing against, but you've got to get to know your players as well. The expectation levels are huge at Chelsea. But I've always felt the same way about Kai. It's not if, it's when. It'll happen. So don't worry about it. Others you might have concerns about, and confidence can play, an effect or whatever. No. Kai is he is the real deal. He is a spectacularly talented player. And we've only just seen glimpses. We really have. So I'm as excited about him. I mean, really, he could do what some of the great players that are a number 10 and a number 9 and a false 9. And if you want to stick him in midfield, and he'll create, and he'll score goals as well. He gets compared to Michael Ballack. Of course he does. And he can be that good. But in some ways, a little bit better as well. And I'm really excited to watch his development. I love watching Chelsea. I love watching players grow. And of all of them, I just can't wait to see what we get out of Kai over the years.
Grace, Pat's alluded to it there, but what is his best position? Because I think the amount you could speak to 10 different people and get 10 different answers. Is he a 9? Is he a 10? Is he a 9.5? Is he a 9 3/4? People are inventing new positions now because you don't really know where. But where is his best position for you?
Oh, sorry.
I thought you were going to give us a time that was going to be your answer.
I'm glad I'm still connected. His best position, it depends who the opposition is. I felt in the first leg, at times when we were trying to go long, it didn't really work for him. I felt that there were moments in that game that it didn't really happen for him. I think he's better just off the front man. I don't think he's a natural number 9. We don't play with a number 9. Today, we don't really have. It's a false number 9. I like him slightly deeper. I think that there would be, if we had the best number 9 I've seen Chelsea, Didier Drogba, I think playing off someone like that, I think you might start to see a different Havertz. When Frank played him in his first game, if you guys remember, he played him off the right-hand side against Brighton. He's not in a 4-3-3. He can't play wide for me. He's better centrally. He's better where he can link up play. So I think in answer to your question, it depends who the opposition is, and it depends how we're going to play and how they play. I think he's a neat and tidy footballer that likes to have players off him. But I tell you what's really impressed me of late is his strength. And I think that Celestine might have alluded to this about COVID. I'm starting to see, because he's a big lad, physically he's not particularly wide, but he's now starting to look like he's showing that physicality, which I didn't think we saw earlier. But Pat's made the point. He's had a change of culture, a change of club. He's incredibly young. He's had COVID. There's a lot of things that need to be taken into consideration. But do you know what? We might just be starting to see the best Havertz we've seen at Chelsea right now at the time that matters. So, look, the goals at the weekend showed exactly what he's got under the bonnet, and there is a hell of a player in there.
It's a little bit of a taboo subject, and I know we're all going to kind of recoil a little bit, but we have to talk about it. Hot topic 3 tonight is Manchester City awaits. Istanbul is the prize tonight. Champions League final on the cards. Abby, we've both been banging this drum since the 0-0 draw with Sevilla in the very first Champions League game. We've been talking about Istanbul in May, but it's now getting to that point. It's now close, isn't it? City looked very, very good last night. It has to be said. Won 4-1 on aggregate. Riyad Mahrez he was brilliant. Phil Foden, incredible. But they're familiar, aren't they? We played them a fortnight ago and got a result against. We play them in 5 days' time, 3 days' time, or something as well. So we know that's what's at stake. Do you think that lends anything to tonight or not? Do you don't think there's anything in that, or do you think there is, knowing what's at stake if you do get through?
I do think the players will just be focusing on tonight because it's an absolutely huge game. But us fans, are definitely myself and you, Joe, we're already thinking about Istanbul. And I think if we get there, we are a team that even an amazing Man City squad fear. I remember when Thomas Tuchel came in, he was like, I want to build a team that no one wants to play against. And I think that's what we are right now. We're in formidable form. And actually, I think Man City will be pretty scared to play us. So it is exciting thinking about if we get to the final, because we could just do it. But I think, tonight for the players very much has to be the focus. We can do the getting ahead of ourselves for them.
Yeah, exactly. We can do exactly that. Celestine, we know how good Manchester City are. We've seen that, they're not run away, but they're going to win the league title in the next couple of weeks at some point. They've won the Carabao Cup. They're in the Champions League final. How impressed have you been with them? But also, how much confidence do you have that Chelsea have got an answer to what they pose? Well,
Man City, they're a pretty good side, in my opinion. Looking at them yesterday, they were very brilliant in the game they played. And with the manager, Pep Guardiola, he will always have a brilliant team. He's a respected manager, and he knows how to put his team out there to win games. But don't forget, we beat these guys, going towards the FA Cup finals. We beat them. And as football players, you will always remember that when a team beats you. So I don't think Chelsea boys have got anything to worry about. We only have to worry about tonight. Don't forget, we're going to play against Madrid, the 13 times Champions League winners. So they're not strolling apart. So we need to make sure we take care of them tonight and then worry about Manchester City in the future.
So it's also very, very Chelsea, isn't it, Celestine, to never have it easy, to always have to do it the hard way. That's how Chelsea do, and even in years gone by, that's what we're about. And I suppose that's why fans and players like yourself kind of take a little bit of comfort in that, because Chelsea are used to having it difficult and stacked against them and having to come through the best and win games.
Well, as Chelsea, we like to do it the easy way and the hard way. We love to win games. We enjoy winning games, and that's why we love Chelsea. Absolutely right. Well, I'll tell you what, we've got a little quiz for you now. Now, Celestine, Jason, Pat, and Abby are big fans of the quiz. They really enjoy it thoroughly, and I don't get absolute abuse in the group chat afterwards for nothing that's my part, to be brutally honest with you. So the quiz tonight is you're going to take it in turns one by one. You have to name players that have represented Chelsea and Real Madrid. Okay, last person standing. If you get one right, you carry on. If you get one wrong, you're finished. You're done. Okay. I'm rubbish in them games.
Me too.
Well, I tell you what, seeing as you're our guest, Celestine, you can go first. Can you name someone that has played for Chelsea and Real Madrid?
Hazard.
Correct. Eden Hazard, of course. Pat, you're next on my screen. You can go next, mate.
I'm sorry, guys. It's Courtois.
Fine. Not a problem. Jason Cundy.
Carvalho.
Yep, correct. Good work. He's now assistant manager at Marseille, by the way. Abby.
Makelele?
Yes, good work. So good they named the position after him. We spoke about him tonight already. Celestine, you're up again.
Pass.
Okay, he's dived out early. I don't blame you. Pat, you're up.
No, I'm out as well. My brain's went blank. I've just got too many things in my mind now. I cannot think straight. I only got Courtois because his name's written down in front of me.
Well, Jace, this is a straight shootout between you and Abby, and there are some names on here that you'll be very disappointed if you don't get. So go on.
I can see his face. Right? Okay, Abs, I want to do a deal with Abs here, right? I want to do a deal with Abs. Have you got one?
Is he thinking?
No. Let me. I want to do a deal with Abby. Has Abby got one? Because if she's got one, she can have it.
I think I've got one.
You've definitely. There's two that you are missing blatantly.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If mine's right,
Anelka.
You can have Anelka. You can have Anelka,
yes.
Jay. Yeah, go on, Abby.
Essien.
Yeah, spot on.
What's Abby looking at? What's Abby looking at?
Hey,
Hold on.
whoa.
Stewards. There's a stewards.
I trust Abby. The integrity of this quiz. Will stand
Okay,
before this.
Abs. Have you got another one?
No, I haven't.
Right. Okay.
That was from the depths of my brain.
Can we work? Abs. Can we work together?
Yeah. All right then.
Okay. He used to play central midfield. He played for Portsmouth as well.
Yes.
Oh.
He's a little Makaleli type player.
Young player of the year, 2005-06. Played for Arsenal as well.
He played for Arsenal as
Yes.
well.
Come on.
Yeah. Who is it? I can see him now as well.
Go on, Baba, shout if you know it. Say it, Baba.
My brain is
Can't
gone dead.
remember.
I'll give you it. I'll put you out. Lasana Diarra.
Oh.
No, that's
Right.
it.
So I'm going to run you through. I'm going to run you through the ones that you missed. Then Mateo Kovacic.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Oh, God.
That's rubbish. Can't believe it.
Alvaro Morata, Gonzalo Higuain, Arjen Robben. What else didn't you have? Marcos Alonso,
I wouldn't have got that.
Samuel Eto'o,
For Madrid. Alonso.
Oh, Eto's a big one.
Jeremy, and Christian
Ziyech.
Pulisic.
Yeah.
So we had a good. See, this is the reaction I usually get, Celestine. I usually get a reaction like this, where now I'm getting it in the neck. They're fuming at me. But
that really got my brain working. It did distract me from.
You know what though? Do you know what? When you hear them, they're so obvious, aren't they?
Yeah. That's what's annoying.
They are. Let me run you through the team then for tonight. Obviously, in goal for Chelsea, Eduard Mendy, a back three of Andres Christensen, Thiago Silva, and Antonio Rudiger. Cesar Azpilicueta captains the side of course, right wing back alongside Ben Chilwell on the left-hand side, and N'Golo Kanté, Jorginho, Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, and Timo Werner. A full bench for Chelsea tonight, as there are in European competition. Kepa Arrizabalaga, Willy Caballero, Marcos Alonso, Tammy Abraham, Christian Pulisic, Kurt Zouma, Olivier Giroud, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Hakim Ziyech, Billy Gilmore, Reece James, and Emerson as well. Obviously, we are not far away from kickoff. Celestine, thank you so much for joining us. You're going to join us at full time, aren't you? Hopefully in a big celebration that will go on into the early hours. So hope you've not got anything booked in this evening.
No, not at all. I'll be with you.
Good man. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very much, mate. Obviously, moments away from a massive one. Chelsea are in Champions League semi-final action. We will join our commentary team after the coolest man in the camp, interviewed by a very close second for coolest man in the camp. Thomas Tuchel, one-on-one with Lee Parker.
Looking ahead to the second leg with Real Madrid, Thomas, how different do you think the game will compare to what we saw in the first match?
Honestly, I have no idea. I mean, I don't know what shape they play. We were aware that it could happen, but I did not believe that it will happen, that they changed their usual 4-3-3 to a 5-3-2. They did. Now they suffer from some injuries. I think it's not clear if Valverde comes back. I'm not sure about Marcelo and Carvajal right now. So bottom line is that we were happy because we can rely to our performance. We were a bit unhappy with the result, because we felt we were not lucky enough to escape with a win and to take a win. But in doubt, it's always nice to rely on your performance and not on your luck. And this gives us a big boost. And we are very well aware that we need another top performance and to go through. It's a draw. Everything is possible. It's Real Madrid in semi-final. And so I don't expect too much, because I think it's very hard to predict what they do, what you can in terms of patterns and rhythm. They feel that it's a team that plays very free, with a lot of freedom, with a lot of creativity, with a lot of experience in finding their positions and creating situations, finding solutions for closed spaces where you normally cannot find solutions. And they do it with pure quality and understanding, game understanding. So before we try to predict, we should more focus on what is absolutely necessary on our side to be ready to give them a hard time, and this is what we try.
With that in mind then, Thomas, focusing on your group of players, will your message to them be the same as it was going into the first game?
Yeah, pretty much the same, because we prepared the first match like this. Some patterns we showed, but it was more individual and group-wise. for Real Madrid. That's why it did not have the biggest impact on us that they changed the formation, because we focus more on their individual and group behavior and the connection between players than on the formation. And this is what we will do again. And then we will try to push the self-confidence to the maximum. But the best thing is that we arrive very naturally self-confident because we have these good performances, and we will encourage the team to rely on their performance and to rely on their strengths as a group. And we come from so many tough challenges now that we can trust ourselves, and we can trust in our strengths, and this will be the key message.